Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy Maj, aka the Mob of Justice, bringing my PCL D-League Season 1, Week 1 Wi-Fi battle versus Odds Are, coach of the Memphis Bewears. If you guys enjoyed this, feel free to drop a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Now, Odds didn't draft this team. It was originally drafted by Obo, but unfortunately, due to IRL circumstances, Obo had to drop the league, so we're going to be facing Odds Are instead. And I'm just going to go over his super scary team real quick. He has access to Kira Black with Z moves, Raikou, Decidueye, Mienshao, Persian Alola, Audino with Z moves, Sheer Force Landorus, Clefable, Metagross, Marshtomp, and Mega Blastoise. Now, just going to give you guys a quick breakdown of the 6 that I want upgrading. I have a Meloetta Pirouette with Relic-Song, Close Combat, Fire and Ice Punch. I Speed Craft the Persian after I transform, Ice Punches for the Lando, and Fire Punches for the Metagross. Close Combat is fairly spammable. His only good fighting resist is Clefable, but I kind of had an inkling that he would bring a more Spadef variant to check the next mon on the squad, being my Volcarona. It has Sub-Roost, Quiver Dance, and Bug Buzz. I kind of wish I ditched Roost for like Fire Ray Dance or Fire Blast or something to be able to deal with the Clefable, but you know, mistakes were made. It's in the past. Whatever, we'll deal with it. It has an upspeed, outspeed of Jolly, Kira, and Black. Basically, it's meant to help weaken the team down to make it easier for the next one on the team to sweep through, being Weavile. I am Life Orb 4 attacks with Icicle Crash, Knockoff, Ice Shard, and Low Kick. Low Kick is for the Kieran Black. Icicle Crash and Knockoff has virtually no switch-ins on my opponent's team, and then Ice Shard is just there for priority in case he's Scarf Lando or gets a Rock Polish off. I also have Mega Latios with Defog Rose, Dragon Pulse, and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball gives me a move to hit the Metagross, and that is speed creeping the Landorus. Just max HP, as much bulk as possible, rest and special attack. I have 4 attacks, Expert Belt, Garchomp with Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Iron Head to be able to hit the Clefable, and HP Ice. HP Ice is purely there so that I could potentially proc a Yachi Berry on Landorus to make Weavile's job much easier late game. And then the last one on the team is a Focus Sash Doug Trio with Stealth Rocks, Earthquake, Memento, and Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is only there if my Sash is broken and I'm in on a Metagross. I could go for the Sucker Punch on his predicted Bullet Punch to try to get off as much damage. And Memento is purely there just to help some of my other monsters in the back to get in and set up like Volcarona or Weavile. Now, looking at my opponent's team, I decided my best possible lead was going to be Meloetta, in case he led with a Scarf, Kieran Black. I could guarantee take any one hit and I could just fire off a Relic-Song. So, we're going to send out Marta the Meloetta. Good mon, I love it to pieces. He's going to lead off with his Mienshao. Now, unless he's Choice Banded Reckless High Jump Kick, he doesn't knock me out with any one hit. So I decided to stay and go for the U-turn. He makes a good play and goes for the U-turn. We're going to take a fair amount of damage, but, you know, it's not too bad. We're still alive. So, all is well. He's going to go into Persian on the Relic-Song. You guys are going to see that did a heck of a lot of damage. And between this damage and the fact that he's showing leftovers and not a potential Choppleberry, means I can very easily just fire off a close combat at this point. He makes another good read and goes hard into Clefable on the close combat, and my theory was basically confirmed because this is a max attack yet resisted close combat against a Clefable. If he was fizzed up, he would have eaten that up a lot better, so I know that this Clefable has almost no physical defense. I decided to fire off a Relic-Song because I don't really switch into this monster that well. I didn't want to risk him randomly T-waving on a Volcarona switch. So, get off a little bit of damage. He goes for the Soft Boiled. Good play, gets his Clefable back up to full, and at this point, I kind of made a read. I thought it was vital in case he decided to double into Mienshao. I go for the Relics on to transform back into Pirouette form, and not only is that a clean to a KO, you guys are going to see the sleep actually matters, because technically Meloetta Pirouette outspeeds this thing, so the fact that his sleep turn was burnt before I attacked meant that this was a Scarf Mienshao, so I'm going to be able to get rid of that, probably one of his answers for Weavile, as he's going to go out to Landorus. Now, this play I thought was a little confusing, because obviously I'm going to be able to proc the Yachi Berry, and he's going to be able to eat the hit, but apparently he forgot or didn't realize that Meloetta Pirouette is a fighting type, which means that I'm going to be able to easily eat the resisted U-turn as he doubles back out into Clefable. I think at this point, I once again go for the Relics on. Yep. Go for the Relics on, get some more damage off. That did absolutely nothing, but we're going to manage to put it to sleep and transform back into the Aria form. And I think this turn, so I burned the immediate turn of sleep, but at this point I'm incredibly pressured, and it's very evident that Marta isn't really going to be able to deal with this thing, so I'm going to make the read and go hard into Volcarona. He experiences the second turn of sleep and gets a little bit of leftover respect. Now, he kind of made a decent read. I think he was sacking. He goes out into his Alolan Persian, predicting me to fire off a Z Fire Blast, burning my Z move. But I wound up just going for sub because it was my best play at that point. And he goes for the Dark Balls. Dark Balls, stab Dark Balls, critical hit, breaks the sub. I don't think the crit mattered. I think it does like 30% min, but I'm going to be able to fire off a Quiver Dance. Now, I kind of made a bit of a misplay at this point, because what my best play should have been was to click Quiver Dance again, but I decided to get up another sub because I didn't want to risk a random Power Gem coming out. So he's going to Parting Shot away, back out into Clefable. So I'm at +1 right now, and I think this turn I just go for another Quiver Dance. I think, yeah, I just go for another Quiver Dance at this point. I know that this thing isn't unaware, and because he showed the soft boiled earlier, but I think it was still a bit of a misplay. I should have just instantly fired off my Z move, Max Bedev without unaware. I was still at +1. I should have easily done like about, I don't know, about 65-70%. So it would have done a decent chunk if I had gone for it, but instead I foolishly decided to go for a couple Quiver Dances as he gets off a couple combines. At this point, I realized that I'm kind of in a losing war with this thing. Because even if I go for a Z move, unless I crit through it, I won't be able to knock him out or anything. I think my Z move only does like 25%, so I go out to Meloetta as he goes for the Store Power, which I am luckily able to eat, but at this point, I'm just sacking Meloetta. I tried to go for the Relics on to potentially get a sleep on him, but as you guys are going to see, unfortunately, I didn't get the sleep, and he's going to be able to knock me out. Now, I think what I did next was I went out into my Focus Sash Dugtrio, because I could guarantee take any one hit, and I could get a lot of damage off with Earthquake. Yeah, I go on to Dougie, click Earthquake, get a lot of damage off. The point, I'm basically going to eventually sack this Dugtrio to this Clefable, because Earthquake, thankfully he doesn't go for the soft boil, he just chooses to attack me, because Earthquake is actually a 3-hit KO only on Clefable, so Now that I got the first turn off, at this point, it's a guaranteed 2KO no matter what. He's going to be spamming soft boiled for a couple turns until he eventually realizes that he's in a losing war, because soft boiled and earthquake, if you guys didn't know, have the same amount of power points. So, but the fact that he already burned a soft boiled or two earlier means that I'm always going to have more earthquakes than he's going to have soft boiled, and if he chooses to try to save one of the soft boiled, he's just going to be 2KO no matter what. So, I think, I'm just gonna skip ahead real quick. Earthquake, this is decent chunk. I think he goes for another soft boiled. Fire off another earthquake. I think this is the turn that he finally attacks me. Yeah, this is the turn he finally attacks me, once he realizes that he wasn't going to win this war. This is going to allow me to go out into my Garchomp, and I can he's easily in range of an earthquake. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. I'm easily going to be able to fire off an earthquake, but he makes a good read and goes out into his Landorus, which Landorus, obviously being a fly type, won't take any damage. I fire off a Dragon Claw just to finish this thing off. And now, I kind of made a bit of a questionable play at this point. He decides to go out into his Persian, and I completely forgot that this thing usually sometimes runs max special attack. So, I should have read that he could have had HP Ice to deal with my Garchomp, but he just fires that off, which is both good and bad. Good, or bad because obviously I lost my Garchomp, but good because he had to be Technician boosted HP Ice to guarantee kill. So I could easily go into Weavile and pick him off. I decided to fire off a knockoff in case he wanted to go into Metagross. Yes, that's a mod. I decided to fire off a knockoff in case he tried to go into Metagross to bait the Icicle Crash. He stays and it goes for the Parting Shot. It goes out to Kieran Black, and this is pretty much the beginning of the end, because I do not switch into this thing. I'm -1, so low kick will not kill this thing. So I'm basically forced to sack off my Mega Latios. As you guys are going to see, he's going to fire off a Z move, is Icium Z, and I thought my Lottie was dead originally until I noticed that he is going for Z Hail. So this is kind of a bit of a problem because he now outspeeds everything on my team, and I was fairly certain that I just straight lost at this point. But luckily for me, Mega Latios. So I'm going to Mega Evolve, and you guys are going to see Kieran Black is going to outspeed, go for max attack Dragon Claw, but Mega Latios is so dummy thick that she or he, die type, whatever, Latios eats the hit and gets off a solid chunk off with Dragon Pulse. So now I at least have a chance, because granted, I am going to have to sack off my Mega Latios at this point, but it comes down to Weavile. Depending on his investment, it is roll for Ice, Life Orb boosted Ice Shard to kill from this range. I have to go for it no matter what, or else I lose. Let's see when Mar gets the roll. Did we get the roll? We got the roll, boys! Kieran Black goes down, and at this point, he decides to go into his Metagross. I thought for sure he was going to fire off a Bullet Punch at this point, so I decided I'm going to go hard into my Volcarona. Unfortunately for me, he makes a really solid play and goes for the Earthquake, which is going to be able to take out my Volcarona. And now it comes down to Weavile against the world. I basically have to hope and pray that either this Metagross does not have Bullet Punch or does not have a Culver Berry, because I'm going to easily drop in any one hit from this thing. I fire off the knockoff. He doesn't show Bullet Punch. No Cobra Berry. So I'm able to knock out the Metagross. Knock off its Aqua Berry. And at this point, I'm not worried about Persian. It all comes down to if I can connect an Icicle Crash on this Clefable. Reconnect, boys! The Clefable is going to go down to this Life Orb boosted Stab Icicle Crash. And now, that's right you guys, we win 1-0. Because his very last one is Persian. I'm not going to risk any BS rolls. I'm not going to risk Icicle Crash missing or any random priority. I'm just going to fire off an Ice Shard, which easily kills from this range. And that is going to be GG to odds are, coach from the Memphis Bewears. Your boy, Mop of Justice, coach of the Portland Crawdaunts, comes off of week 1 with a solid 1-0 win. It was an incredibly gut-wrenching match, and it was so close. You guys be sure to go check out odds in the description. And I'll see you guys next week when we take on Love, coach of the Atlanta Aerodactyls. Thank you everybody for watching. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to drop a like, comment, subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, friends.